The sound of rumbling engines echoed through the small-town diner parking lot as a group of bikers rolled in, leather vests glinting under the afternoon sun. Inside, a little girl sat by the window, clutching a pair of old dog tags in her tiny hands, her father's. "Daddy, do you think they know you?" she asked softly, her blue eyes filled with curiosity. Her father, Mark Dawson, a quiet single dad and Army veteran, looked up from his coffee. His face was tired, weathered by years of service and loss. He gave a faint smile. "Maybe, sweetheart, maybe some of them do." It had been 5 years since Mark returned from Afghanistan, 5 years since his unit's last mission went terribly wrong. Only half his brothers came home. Since then, he'd lived a quiet life with his daughter Lily in a small town in Montana, working at the local garage. But that day was different. One of the bikers, a tall man with gray hair and a beard braided neatly down his chest, caught sight of the dog tags dangling from Lily's fingers as he passed their table. He froze mid-step. "Hey, where'd you get those?" he asked, his voice deep but gentle. Mark looked up, wary. "They're mine," he replied, standing slightly protective of his daughter. The biker stepped closer. "You served in Kandahar, 101st Airborne." Mark's eyes narrowed. "Yeah, you were there." The biker took off his sunglasses, and for a moment time stopped. "Jesus Christ," Mark whispered. "Henderson." The biker nodded slowly, his own eyes watering. "You made it out." The diner went silent. Lily looked between the two men, confused. "You knew my daddy?" she asked softly. Henderson crouched down beside her, his leather vest creaking. "Yeah, sweetheart, your daddy saved my life." Mark shifted uncomfortably. "It wasn't like that, we all did what we had to." But Henderson shook his head. "You dragged me out of that convoy when it went up. I wouldn't be standing here if it weren't for you." The other bikers gathered around, listening quietly. Many of them were veterans too, men who knew the weight of silence and the ghosts that came home with you. Then Lily, curious as ever, held out the dog tags and asked the question that cut through everyone like a blade. "Who is my father?" For a moment, no one spoke. The question wasn't innocent, it came from a place of quiet confusion. Lily had never really known who her father was beyond being daddy. She'd never heard about the soldier, the hero, the man who carried others through fire. Mark knelt down beside her. "Sweetheart, I'm your father," he said softly, "but I guess there's a part of me that belonged to them too." He looked up at the bikers, emotion thick in his voice. "To the brothers I served with." Henderson stood tall, voice trembling. "And you always will, brother." He looked around at his crew, rough men with kind eyes, and nodded. "Boys, this man here, he saved one of us. That means he's family." The group of bikers, most of them veterans, surrounded Mark and Lily. One of them handed Lily a small, polished dog tag from his own chain. "Here," he said gently, "now you've got a piece of all your father's brothers." Her eyes lit up as she looked at the tag. "So, I have lots of uncles now." Laughter broke through the heaviness. Henderson ruffled her hair. "Yeah, you do, kiddo, a whole bunch of 'em." That day, something changed for Mark. He'd spent years isolating himself, haunted by memories he refused to share. But seeing the bikers, men who had lived through the same darkness, made him realize he wasn't alone. The following weekends, their garage parking lot became a gathering spot. The bikers would swing by with their families, bringing food, laughter, and stories. Lily called it Daddy Club. And every time she saw those dog tags around her neck, she'd smile and say, "My daddy's not just my hero, he's everyone." Months later, during a local Veterans Day event, the crowd stood silent as the national anthem played. Mark stood beside Henderson and his crew, Lily perched proudly on his shoulders, waving a small flag. The mayor called Mark's name to the stage. "For acts of bravery and selflessness in service," the announcement read, "we honor Sergeant Mark Dawson." As the applause thundered, Mark looked down at Lily, who clutched both his and Henderson's dog tags in her hand. Her smile was brighter than the medal being pinned to his chest. And for the first time in years, Mark didn't feel the weight of the past, only gratitude for the present. He turned to Henderson and said quietly, "Guess the family just got bigger." Henderson chuckled, "Yeah, brother, that's how it's supposed to be." In the end, what started as a quiet afternoon in a diner became the moment a little girl helped her father rediscover his strength. and reminded everyone that family isn't always about blood. Sometimes it's about the ones who stand with you when the world goes silent, the ones who remind you that you're never truly alone. The cold autumn wind swept through the Montana hills as the sun began to set. Mark and Lily rode home in Mark's old pickup truck, the metal from the ceremony resting on the dashboard, glinting in the fading light. Lily sat quietly, fingers tracing over the 2 dog tags hanging around her neck, her dad's and Henderson's. She looked out the window, thoughtful. "Daddy," she said softly, "were you scared when you were a soldier?" Mark hesitated. "Every day, sweetheart, but I wasn't scared for myself. I was scared for the people I loved, for the men beside me, for you, even before you were born." Lily turned to him, eyes wide. "You thought about me." He smiled, a little sad. "All the time, you were the reason I wanted to come home." There was a long silence, then Lily said something that made his throat tighten. "Then maybe that's why you saved Uncle Henderson, because you wanted someone else's daddy to come home too." Mark couldn't speak, he just reached out and squeezed her tiny hand. That weekend, Henderson and the bikers rolled into town again, but this time not just for coffee. They had something planned. The rumble of engines echoed through the valley as nearly 30 bikers arrived at Mark's garage, each carrying something different: lumber, paint, tools, even old car parts. Lily's eyes went wide as she ran out to greet them. "Daddy, they brought stuff, what's happening?" Henderson grinned, hopping off his Harley. "Well, kiddo, your dad's been fixing everyone's cars for years. We thought it's time we fix something for him." Mark raised a brow. "What are you talking about?" Henderson tossed him a blueprint, rough sketches drawn on a diner napkin. It was a plan for a new building, a veterans community workshop and hangout spot right next to Mark's garage. "For guys like us," Henderson said, "somewhere we can work, talk, or just breathe." Mark blinked, stunned. "You can't be serious. This'll cost a fortune." Henderson shrugged. "We're not building a palace, brother, just a place to belong." The men got to work. For weeks, the sound of hammers and laughter filled the air. Old veterans, young mechanics, even townsfolk came by to help. Some brought food, others shared stories. Lily was the team's unofficial foreman, running around with a clipboard giving orders, which everyone pretended to obey. And every night when the work was done, they'd gather around a small bonfire out back. The flames danced as stories flowed, stories of fear, courage, brotherhood, and loss. Mark listened quietly, sometimes adding a few words, sometimes just staring into the fire. But one night, something unexpected happened. An unfamiliar car pulled into the lot. A woman stepped out, late 20s, nervous but determined. She was holding a folded American flag and a photograph. "Excuse me," she said softly, her voice trembling. "I'm looking for Mark Dawson." Mark stood. "That's me." She hesitated. "My name's Rachel. My brother was Private Tom Jensen. He served with you." Mark froze. He remembered the name instantly, one of the young soldiers who hadn't made it home. His chest tightened. She stepped closer, tears glistening in her eyes. I wanted to thank you. You wrote us that letter. You said he was brave, that he saved others. I didn't know until now that you were the one he saved." Mark swallowed hard. He was one of the best men I ever knew. Rachel nodded. "I kept wondering how to honor him, but when I heard what you're building here, this workshop, I knew this is where he'd want his story to live." She handed him a small box. Inside was Tom's old wrench engraved with his initials. "For the wall," she said. Mark took it carefully, his voice barely a whisper. "Thank you." Henderson placed a hand on Mark's shoulder. "We'll hang it front and center." Lily, watching quietly, whispered to her dad, "Another uncle." Mark smiled softly. "Yeah, baby, another one." When the workshop finally opened, the entire town showed up. Veterans in faded uniforms, kids waving flags, bikers in leather vests. The sign above the door read, "Homefront Garage for all who served and still stand." Inside, the walls were lined with framed photos, names, and dog tags, reminders of the ones who'd served and the ones who never came home. Mark gave a small speech, though his voice trembled the whole way through. "This place isn't about me," he said. "It's about us. The people who came home, the ones who didn't, and the families who held us together when we couldn't hold ourselves." As he spoke, Lily climbed up onto a stool beside him, holding his medal in her hands. My daddy's a hero, she said proudly, her voice echoing through the room. But so are his friends, all of them. The crowd fell silent, then erupted into applause. Henderson wiped his eyes and muttered, "That kid's got more courage than the rest of us combined." As the night wound down, Mark stood outside, watching the lights glow from the new building. The laughter of veterans and families spilled out into the cool night air. Henderson walked up beside him, sipping a cup of coffee. "You did good, brother." Mark shook his head. "We did good." They watched as Lily ran around with a couple of bikers, laughing, the dog tags bouncing around her neck in the firelight. "She's growing up around real people," Henderson said. "People who know pain but still choose kindness. That's the kind of world we fought for, ain't it?" Mark nodded slowly. "Yeah, it is." Later, as Mark tucked Lily into bed, she looked up sleepily. "Daddy, when I grow up, I want to help people too, like you do." He brushed her hair back, smiling. "You already do, Lily." "How?" He kissed her forehead. "Because you remind us all what we're fighting for." Epilogue. Years later, that little garage became a safe haven for hundreds of veterans, a place to rebuild engines, friendships, and sometimes their own hearts. And on the front wall, right beside Tom Jensen's wrench, hung a photo of a smiling little girl holding 2 dog tags. The plaque underneath read, "For Lily, the little heart that reminded us what family really means." Final message. In a world that often forgets those who served, sometimes it takes the innocence of a child to remind everyone what truly matters: love, loyalty, and the courage to keep living.